In a day filled with blockbuster legal news regarding the 2024 election, a breaking story just snuck under the radar that could give the Harris campaign a boost, and I have it for you next. With presidential polling so tight, every issue has the potential to swing the election. And in today's breaking news, a federal judge has ruled on something that was once at the top of the news, but lately we haven't heard much about it. And I have that for you right after we look at the latest and very relevant polling in this MSNBC video from today that makes mention of a Trump collapse and the ongoing issue of his personal behavior. And you will notice that they discuss key issues, but the breaking news I have for you on the other side isn't covered, so please stay tuned.
There is new polling from the Cook Political Report finding Kamala Harris leading or tied with Donald Trump in all but one battleground state, all within the margin of error. And there's been some notable movement on some key issues. Joining us now with more on that, publisher and editor-in-chief of the Cook Political Report, Amy Walters. So, Amy, what are the key issues you see movement on?
On the issues of immigration and specifically the issue of inflation, Donald Trump's lead has either narrowed or, in the case of inflation, completely collapsed. So Trump had a 6-point lead on the issue of who do you think would do a better job controlling costs and inflation back in August. And today, the two candidates are even on that measure. And on immigration, it's still Trump's strongest issue, but it was an issue he had a double-digit lead on in August, and it's now down to a single-digit lead. The good news for Trump, though, is that for the people who are still undecided in this race or who say, maybe I'm going to vote third party, they do see him by a pretty significant margin as being stronger on issues surrounding the economy. What is holding them back in many cases from voting for Donald Trump, and goes back to the conversation on your first panel, is Donald Trump's personal behavior. And so this is the pressure, the sort of cross pressure for these undecided voters about wanting to support Trump's policies, but not necessarily supporting Trump, the person.
And in this next clip, Al Sharpton asked Amy Walters about something small that benefits Harris, something that could have a big impact, and then I'll reveal today's news that also falls into that same category.
Operations on the ground, we don't see a lot from Trump in either state, and we do see some evidence of that with presidential candidate Harris. Wouldn't a ground operation have major impact?
Yeah, I think in a race that's this close, we're going to look back and point to probably 100 little things that made the difference between one candidate winning or losing.
I have mentioned before that my favorite expression is big doors move on small hinges. Amy Walters just called them little things that we'll look back on. And here's the small hinge or little thing, depending on your preference, that came from a federal judge today. It is something that definitely has potential to move the big Democratic campaign door because of the number of people it affects.
Earlier today, a Republican federal judge ruled the Biden administration can move forward with a student loan forgiveness program.
The sweeping student loan forgiveness program is poised to help tens of millions of Americans. 7 Republican states, including Florida, filed a lawsuit claiming his department's new debt cancellation effort is illegal. However, a Republican-appointed judge ruled President Biden could move forward with the plan.
I believe my plan is responsible and fair. It focuses the benefit on middle class and working families. It helps both current and future borrowers, and will fix a badly broken system.
President Joe Biden's plan to forgive student debt has the potential to boost Kamala Harris's campaign against Trump for several key reasons. First off, this issue resonates strongly with younger voters, many who are burdened by student loans. Second, Harris can highlight her commitment to social justice, connecting with voters who prioritize equity in economic policies because marginalized communities bear much of the brunt of student debt. This not only reinforces her values, but also sets her apart from Trump, whose policies often cater to wealthier individuals. Third, Harris can position debt forgiveness as part of a larger recovery strategy. By arguing that relieving financial burdens would free up disposable income and stimulate economic growth, she presents a compelling case for her leadership and diminishes Trump's perceived advantage on economic matters. And in closing, I'll leave you with this message from Representative James Clyburn, who exposes the incredible benefit of the forgiveness program that the Trump elite and the Republican critics failed to recognize.
A lot of people who criticize this program fail to recognize that what the president is doing is eliminating interest. Most of these people have paid back more than they ever borrowed and still owe more than the original loan was for. I have a constituent who borrowed $60,000, paid back that loan for more than 20 years. And when last October, he still owed $119,000. The original loan was $60,000. He paid it for 20 years. Now almost $119,000 being forgiven. So the president, I congratulate him. It is a great effort.